Hi, everyone. Welcome to Clients First, your San Diego based networking group. So we do this virtual networking once a week, 7:30. Let's just jump into it. Christine, introduce yourself.
Hey, Christine Walker with Legal Shield. We have legal services for individuals and business owners and business plans.
David.
Hey guys, how are you doing? David Stein, Principal Equity Group, where basically we create a red carpet experience for everything mortgage.
Nice. And David's also coming fully prepared with his daughter's paintings in the background. So while you're listening to him talk, you can also take a look at his daughter's paintings. Oh, there she is. She's waving at the camera. All right. My name is Vinny. I help people buy and sell residential property in San Diego County. Why don't we jump into it? And Christine, why don't you just kind of go into your ideal client that you usually like to work with?
Business owners. We have both business owners as well as plans for individuals and families. But the great thing about business owners is that they own a business, so they can ask questions about their business and they can ask questions about their personal life. So as far as business, hey, I'm looking to change locations or I'm looking to hire employees. What can I do? What's some of the things I should look out for? And then with the personal plan, if they're looking to move or if they just have a question about what their rights are, they're able to pick up the phone and ask any question for a low monthly fee.
David?
So basically, I guess this is an ideal client.
Yeah, ideal client.
So ideal client would be anyone just looking to save money right now. There's so many opportunities to lower your mortgage payment. Also take out cash and buy another property. So that's what we've really been focusing on, is trying to help people maximize their residual income or their passive income.
If you're just watching right now, and David can speak more educated about it, but rates are crazy low, all-time low threes, high twos if you're buying down points. If you don't have anything in the low threes or the high twos, give David a call. And we just got Jeff. There we go.
Yeah.
Jeff, you want to tell who you are and your ideal client?
Sure. My name's Jeff Crom with the Fifth Power Consulting. My ideal client is a business owner and is either flatlined on their business or is looking to take their business to the next level. And definitely if they have to pivot during what's happening today in today's world, I have 8 different drivers that I could help businesses, grow their business inside there. So that would be my type of client.
My ideal client is the same that I've had for the last couple of weeks. If you look at the current market right now, we have about 1,000 more single-family condos, townhomes, row homes under 700,000 in escrow than we do have on the market right now, compared to what we have above 700,000. So if you're looking to move up from under 700 to above 700, give me a call. It's a great time to do it. Jeff, so you're going to be presenting it, right?
Yes, indeed.
Fantastic. You ready to get going?
I am. Let's see here. I'm going to share my screen, so you should be.
And if this is the first time joining us right now, if you have a business in San Diego or you can sell to San Diego clientele, feel free to reach out to myself or anyone else on this platform right here. We'd love to talk to you about getting you on board. And Jeff's going to be doing a little presentation and kind of dive a little deeper into it. And while he's working on that, Christine, you want to give us a little tidbit? So maybe if someone is looking for kind of legal help, something that they should kind of think about, or maybe the process of getting to Legal Shield, if maybe they're scared to give you a call, is there any kind of thing that they can work on themselves?
Yeah, just there's nothing to be scared of. It's very simple. You pick up the phone and you can talk to the attorneys about everything. You don't have to worry about a monthly bill that you're going to receive. And so anybody that's thinking about it, for the family plan or the individual plan, it's $24.95 per month. Most of us spend more than that on Starbucks or lunch every other day, or delivery now. Everyone's having food delivered. We spend more than that. And so now you can actually pick up the phone and get your questions answered. Instead of asking a Google, you can ask an expert. So I say just jump right in.
David, is there anything maybe they're not ready to refi or maybe ready to purchase, but something they can do to help their maybe credit score get a better rate when the time comes about?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, right now it's all about credit score. The higher your credit score is, the lower your rate is going to be. Now, 6 months ago, it didn't used to be like that. It used to be like equity driven, income driven. Now it's very much FICO driven. So a guy that has a 681 FICO and a guy who has a 720 are going to have a huge difference in rate, maybe half a point. So I can't stress, fixing your credit. It's so important right now.
I know you're going to be diving into this, Jeff. And I know you. I mean, for people watching right now, Jeff does a little bit of both. He does coaching. He also does finding your soulmate. Any kind of things, maybe on the soulmate avenue, because you're going to be talking about, I think, the coaching today. If someone's looking to find their soulmate, any kind of tidbits, tricks, things that they can do to kind of get their mindset right, or things to kind of be aware of.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to share all of this right now. In fact, if you want to just share my screen.
Yeah, I'll share your screen. I'm gonna jump off right now. One little tidbit I want to throw out there: if you're looking to buy maybe 6 months in a year, you're not ready to do it now. One thing that most people don't think about is, instead of looking at what's currently going on the market, figure out a realtor that you plan to work with and get them to start sending you sold properties. Okay, not active properties, sold properties. All right.
Fantastic. And Vinny, let me know when you can see my full screen.
Yeah, full screen. You're up. We're getting on.
Awesome. All right. So like Vinny said, or like I said earlier, my name's Jeff Krall. So I'm an international business coach, been doing this for years. I'm also a best-selling author and certified high performance coach. And like Vinny was talking about, I have 3 different areas. So I help businesses grow business owners grow their business. I have more of a life coaching, more of a high performance type coaching. And then the secret thing that I do that's just kind of on the side, it's a passion of mine, is helping people find their soulmate. And I wrote a bestseller book about that. And today, you guys asked me to speak about that. You asked me to speak about, how's the dating world shifting, in today's world. And so today I'll teach you a few little steps on, one, how I found my soulmate in 120 days. And how I've helped others do it even faster. My goal today is first talking about, what it's like to really date in today's world. I will get into some key things that I did to find my soulmate in 120 days and helped others do it in even faster. And then, of course, I have a special gift for you if you stay to the end, and go from that. So let's jump right into it, because this is a big question everybody always asks. And there's 2 things you guys wanted me to do, is kind of go over this, as well as go over my story and how I did it as well. So I'll cover both of those today. So let's jump right into. So in today's world of COVID-19, right? Like, how's the dating world changed? And most people are saying, oh, it's not a good time to date. Well, it's actually the opposite. I think it's probably a better time to date now than it was before, and there's a few key reasons for that. So one, it allows you to really help yourself focus on yourself. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, you've got to get your own life in order to attract your soulmate. And I think that's an important thing. Most people step over, like, oh yeah, I've already done that. Oh yeah, tell me what's next. Tell me what I got to do next. And they step over that. Oh yeah, I've done that exercise before, so I don't need to do it ever again. And the fact is a lot of things, if you're not, doing them at the time you're really committed to them, it's not the same as doing them. So that's an important thing. I think COVID has helped us do that, because we're all staying here, in quarantine, or kind of in your own place. So it's perfect to focus on yourself. Second thing is the time to get more clarity and vision. Like, really know precisely who it is that you're looking for, and what you want that relationship to look like. What's the vision for the long run of you living your life with your soulmate? And I think that's super, super crucial, that, again, you don't spend a lot of time on. It's kind of like, yeah, I want this person like this, that, 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 that. And are you really crystal clear on that? And are you just stepping over that step? And I like to say, think of it like a long distance dating, right? I mean, right now is that's exactly it is. It's kind of like some of us have had that, have not had it. You've heard of it, where you meet someone out of town and now you have this long distance relationship. And how many people have you heard where they met long distance and then they ended up growing closer together? This is no different than that, right? I mean, we can complain that we can't do blah 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 blah, but the bottom line is it's perfect because right now you can have more FaceTime, in today's digital world like we're doing today. There's more interaction and meaningful conversations because a lot of times my clients get mixed up in the physical side of relationships versus the emotional side and the connection side. So it's like a better time because now you can have these kind of conversations and really make sure the clarity and the vision of my side is the same as the clarity and vision that the other side has. And I think that's something missing inside there. So yes, it's possible to find your soulmate as long as you're using my formula, I believe. So let's jump right into it. And if there's any questions at the end, Vinny, please ask me. Let's see. Okay, so recent case. So this is something I think is important, is kind of going through case studies. So Nicholas is one of the professionals I worked with just recently. He's in the financial industry. His whole purpose at the time was like, I want to find my soulmate. Like he was really committed. He was like, I don't know how to. I don't date a lot. I think he was dating like 2 times a year, but he was just like, I really want to find my soulmate. And so he started doing research. He bumped into me and he found me during my 7-day love challenge that I did. And he had huge breakthroughs. He got his life together first. Remember, I told you about like get your life in order. Well, he had health and relationship stuff with friends and family, and he got all that in order. So that all that was crystal clear. And he was just at this high level to now start focusing. He shifted his mindset. One of the barriers he had for himself was girls are bad, right? And so because of that, every time he was in a relationship, even with family and friends, like his sister and so on, there would just be this vision of this that's in between of him being authentic and really being able to connect with women. And so when that happened, everything shifted for him. I also did this exercise on energy and how important energy is. I do this for my life coaching, my high performance coaching. It is crucial to have a lot of energy when it comes to living your life on purpose and living the life that you want. He went through clarity. He had clarity breakthroughs, knowing his top 5 most important things about the woman of his dreams was crucial for him to be clear when he's out searching. And the biggest thing was community. I think that was huge for him. He actually enrolled his community, just like I talk about, so that the community is helping him find dates. It only took him less than 30 days. He started in February, and I recently just talked to him in June here. And so let me pull that up. He texted me out of the blue and just said, hey, Jeff, I just want to thank you. I've been on over 30 dates and I found someone that's a great fit for me. I was intentional in my course. He followed everything that I talked about. And I have a quick video for this. Don't know if you can hear it.
Can't hear it, Jeff. Jeff, we can't hear it.
So that was Nicholas. And, he really followed exactly, what I told him to do. So, and more than you guys can imagine, I have a lot deeper interview that I did with him. But you want to ask yourself, if you're single, do you really have what it takes? And the first thing might come is all that negative thinking that's there, like, oh, maybe not, or maybe so. Again, you do have what it takes. And I believe that you have what it takes. I think it just takes your commitment to reach out to me and start the journey of breaking through whatever that's there. And if you're like, yeah, I have what it takes, then jump in and really start to do what I am, because it could be as fast as, 120 days or less for you. So, why do you need to know what I know? Well, first off, I found my soulmate in 120 days, and I've helped others do it in the same amount of time or less. And yes, less time, which just like Nicholas just demonstrated for himself. So I want to tell you my story first, really quickly, and this is probably about the shortest version I can give you, since we're only got a few minutes here. So first off, I was struggling. I was in an amazing relationship, I thought, and what I didn't know is I was clouded from that. And one day I came home from work, and bags were all packed and sitting right there at the door, and it was my ex-wife, or my wife at the time, and she basically just said, "I want a divorce, and we're done." And it destroyed my world. And I think a lot of people can resonate that, whether it's just a boyfriend or a girlfriend. We've all had our heart broken before, and for me, it was everything. I mean, I always just wanted a family and everything, and being that best husband and that best father, and it all disappeared for me in that moment. And it took a while. It took a little while for me to break out of my funk with that, but I really got committed, and I started getting into personal growth and development. And I probably spent over $100,000 in personal development, discovering what was wrong with me. And it's not really, what I found was it wasn't really anything wrong with me. It was all in my mindset and how I was doing that. So, you know, I was consulting and coaching financial advisors, which I still do coach financial advisors, but this is an image of me where everything shifted for me. I was coaching a client in Australia. He felt hopeless. He felt frustrated about his business. He couldn't get any new ideal clients in his life, and he was really like ready to call it quits. And I was kept telling him, no, you can do it. You can do it. You can do this. And it was at the time where he said, well, Jeff, I don't think so. I mean, what would you do in this situation? And I said, well, if you drop ship me in Sydney, Australia, this is exactly what I would do. And I went through all these steps. And by the time we were all done, he was alive. He was energized. He was focused. He was like ready to go. And he got off the phone, and I got off the phone, and we were all pumped. And then at the end of that, I was like going, oh my gosh, that was some great, great advice, right? We've all had those moments where you're just like, man, that was amazing advice. And then you think to yourself, man, I should probably do that for myself. And, I didn't want to do it. And I was just like, man, I probably should do that for myself, and I should do that for the area that really mattered to me the most. And that's being that husband, being that father. And if I was truthful with myself at the time, I was not doing any of that, what I was telling him to do in his business, as should be doing in relationships. So I took that to heart, and I jumped right into it, because for me, that was an integrity issue. I just, that's something I wanted, I couldn't keep hiding it. I couldn't keep over masking that and telling people life is good. So I jumped right into it. And short story around that is, I went on 43 dates in 120 days to find my beautiful wife. And now we have, four kids, and it's just the most, I couldn't envision it any better than I did at the time. And so That's, that's my story. And the thing that people don't know about my story is along that whole journey, I envisioned all of this, and to the point where I bought two fully paid cruise tickets for me and the woman of my dreams. And I kept telling people from the beginning of the journey on, even though I didn't know who she was, I bought these cruise tickets and I just said, listen, I'm going to be sipping daiquiris on the deck of this cruise with the woman of my dreams at the end of this year. And that's the woman I am going to marry. That's the woman I'm going to spend the rest of my life. And everybody was just like, yeah, okay, Jeff, let's see what happens, And some people were on board, like, man, how can I help you? How can I help you? And like I said, I went on 43 days, all by introductions. Like, it was my community that helped me do that. No difference than how I've taught others to do the same. And so I have this picture here to remind me that no matter what negative thoughts that I have, no matter what, people say, this image reminds me is I can do anything that I want in my life. And it reminds me that I can help others do the same just by shifting a few key things inside my formula. So, I found my soulmate in 120 days. And I know in working with my clients, there's three deadly invisible forces, I like to call them. And they're really holding people back from finding their soulmate that fast. And I'm going to zip through these because we're running out of time. But one is, trying to do it on your own. We all do this, whether you do this in your business or whether you do this in your life and looking for your soulmate. It's trying to do it on your own. You might hustle and grind more than anyone else, but I can tell you, if you hustle and grind with a team or a community, like, you can get to your destination that much quicker. And it's crucial that you're able to do that. The other thing is naysayers. All those negative people, could be family, could be friends, could be one or two of them, could be a whole community of them. Wherever you are, there's always those naysayers. You can't do this. You can't do this. Oh, yeah, you've had so much bad luck. Or they'll say things like, oh, yeah, someday, don't worry about it. Just let it happen when it happens. And you start believing all these naysayers. And there's a way for you to shift your mind out of that that's so crucial around it. And then the next one is that whole, silver ball, right? There's that shiny object. That whole silver ball and shiny object, syndrome that ends up happening where someone says this and then you go do that. Or someone's doing this. Oh, they use this new app. Oh, they do this. Oh, and you start to do all these things. Or the biggest one of shiny objects is just avoidance, right? Anytime there's something else better to do than the thing that really matters to you, is another way where you avoid yourself from actually finding your soulmate. And then the last one is giving up disease. I think this is another one that, really hit me once I had my heart broken. Usually in that beginning stage of getting your heart broken, this is the thing that really hits the most. And you start believing like, I'm better off on my own. You start believing and start telling yourself life is so great how it is. There's no point changing it. And you just really want to look at which one of these is really holding you up the most and start getting into action. So I want to give you my top 3 secrets. And again, I've got about 3 more minutes here. So I just want to kind of zip through this. But the first one is clarity and focus. I talked to you a little bit about that, just so you're clear on that. And clarity and focus is crucial, that you know who your top 5 are, and qualities and attributes that you're really looking for. And more importantly, you've got your life in focus, so you're not distracted by anything else around that. Second thing is have one process. So many people do so many things. I'm dating this app, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing this. And they got so many different things and they're not really following anything. They're really kind of doing things by accident. And you want to do things on purpose and have an actual formula for that. So my formula for that is this. It's the power of clarity and focus. You go into the power of asking a community where you can get all your dates, all by introductions from other people. And you can still use those dating apps, but there's a certain way I would teach you how to do those. And then the power of planning and preparation, like really knowing when you're on those dates, how do you intentionally make those dates powerful? And then the power of action and reflection. So it costs you something by dating without a purpose. You'll have more frustration, more sadness, more loneliness. You'll feel hopeless. You'll have anger, and it costs money, time, and dating. And if you go through divorce, it costs even you a lot more on the financial side. So the fifth power formula is all about creating that ideal life, having that happiness and love and family. And if you set the right foundation, then that is what's possible for you. And then lastly, I'll jump right into its mindset. I talked to you a little bit earlier about this, and I'm just going to zip through this. But we have these negative mindsets of it's hopeless, I'm not good enough, something's wrong with me, I'm frustrated. I can go through all of these. And then there's the hidden ones, right? Like I'm happy being alone. I don't need anyone else. I'm in no rush. It'll happen when it happens. I have a great life. Those are hidden ones that you say to yourself that you're really hiding that ability to find your soulmate. So that's all I want to say. Oh, and then there's the pressure, right? You get everybody pressuring you, basically telling you, when are you going to find your soulmate? Why haven't you found your soulmate? Aren't you lonely finding your soulmate? And then you have the pressure of, I'm all alone. I don't want to be alone, or your age, right? You're getting older, and now I can't do certain things that I wanted to. I wanted to have kids. I didn't want to have kids. And then so cultural things as well. So zip right through that. I just want to tell you guys, I hope that helps. I'm going to have a webinar on July 2nd. If that sounds like something you're interested in, go to thesecrettofindlove.com. You can register for the webinar, and I'm going to do that live. There is one that you can do and watch the replay, but my live one's going to have some special stuff. Feel free to watch the replay one now, and then the live one will come in July 2nd, and you can jump right on to that. So I'm confident that you can do it, and you can find your soulmate by my proven process. So I look forward to helping you do that. And who's this for? So I'll just skip through all of that, and that's it, Vinny.
Thank you, Jeff. Any feedback? Christine, and if anyone watching has feedback, any questions for Jeff, feel free to comment, and we will get it up here for Jeff to see.
If we want to, so I have a friend. What's the best way? Like, where
I got a friend. I love that. For all you married people, right? I got a friend, right? Best way is just, I would say, have them start with the webinar. So right now they can go there directly to that web link, Secret to Find Love, and they can watch a webinar and get those top 3 secrets that I go through, which is really cool. And then they can also, actually, just for this group, I have a link called Soulmate Call, soulmatecall.com. In fact, Vinny, I'll put it in the chat box as well, but soulmatecall.com. I will give them a free one-on-one call with me. If that's someone, you have someone that's serious or just feels blocked and wants to get unblocked, however that is, I will, I'll do that completely complimentary. It's $500 on my website, but it's completely free to this group.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any questions coming in, Vinny?
No,
nothing coming through.
Okay.
David, any feedback, questions, anything like that?
I like the top 3 things, and I just like when things are dumbed down for me. I like something for dummies, so I like that a lot. Top 3 things. And then experience. I'm always a big believer in the testimonials plus the experiences. So if that video would have worked, that probably would have been audio. That probably would have been the nail in the coffin. That was pretty good.
Oh, it did. So the audio didn't come through, huh?
No, I jumped on a couple times, but I guess you couldn't hear me.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't hear you. So
But I'm imagining the audio was awesome. So then
it was amazing. He's
There
just
you
like,
go.
I can't believe it. I did it in 30 days.
Yeah, I thought the slide. I thought the slide. I don't know if you. It looks like you did upgrades to the slide and added some other things to it. Your PowerPoint.
As far as updated to since last time or something.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks cleaner. I don't know if it was just the how you presented it, but it looked like it was. I think it was smoother. I think the quality was a little better. Yeah, I didn't think quality was bad previously. I just thought it was a little better this time.
Yeah, I did shift different styles. I have quite a few different styles, so this one was definitely different than what I've done before. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, perfect. Yeah, it doesn't seem like we have any questions for you, Jeff, but next week we're going to have David talk about loans, mortgages. Want to give a little insight into what you're going to talk about, and then if anyone has questions, we can kind of jump into that.
Yeah, honestly, I'm just going to talk about the changing landscape in loans. A lot has changed since COVID, but now the banks they've lost a lot of their profits. So the banks are coming back with non-QMs back again. They went away for a little bit, but now they're back to try to get some fees racked up. So it used to be you could do a non-QM loan with 5 or 10% down. Now they're requiring about 15 to 20. So, there's some stuff that have changed, but those self-employed borrowers that, run their own business and write off their income can still qualify with bank statements, stuff like that. Loans that previously were done a few months ago are no longer allowed to be done, such as, the 580 or less VA and FHA. So right now, like I said, credit repair is very crucial. And so that's kind of the stuff I want to talk about.
Perfect. Any questions, Christine, Jeff, anyone watching has for David to answer next week?
Yeah, can you be specific? Because you talk about the difference in percentage, but for most people, they're not going to understand. So if you say if you have good credit, it'll be like a percent lower, but maybe just use specific numbers. So if you have a 618, your monthly payment may be $2,000, but if you have a 800, then your monthly payment might be $1,500. So specific dollar amount.
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay.
What about the jumbo for the bigger houses out here in San Diego?
Yeah, I could go over that too, because the jumbo markets it's tainted. The loans are really tainted. They, no one wants to take the risk, on the secondary level by buying these mortgages. I'll talk about that as well. I'll show some examples too of each type of loan and kind of what you're looking at for each one.
Okay, and what about investment loans?
Investment loans are still good. Cash out off an investment property to buy another property is a lot of the stuff people are doing. So I'll talk about those as well. And
can you bring your assistant on with you?
Talking to you.
So I know you, David. I know you get very creative.
I've got 4 of them. So.
You get very creative with your financing.
Mm-hmm.
If you give a story of one of your most recent creative financing with your clients, how you're able to get them, they had this.
Yeah, I actually have a really good one, and I'll tell you briefly about it. Basically, girl came to me. She wanted to buy a house. She has no income, no job, no nothing. So I convinced her to get her mom on the phone. And I convinced the mom to put 20% down and co-sign on the loan. So now she's buying an owner-occupied property instead of a rental. So I convinced the mother it was good for her. Instead of putting 20% down on a rental property, she can actually put 20% down on an owner-occupied property, get the lower interest rate, and still, enjoy the equity because the daughter just wants to live there. So
you know what? In the radio business, you should have gave it as a tease. I found someone that had no money, no credit score, and I got into a house. Watch next week so we can tell you how it happened.
Actually, she did have a credit score. So
she did? Okay.
Yeah, that was the only thing she had was a credit score and a heartbeat. And the mother made so much money. And, you know, they live in Scripps Ranch, and then we actually ended up buying this condo in Del Mar, and we got a smoking deal. Like it was a foreclosure, not a bank-owned foreclosure. It was, you know, pre-foreclosure. And they agreed to take a reduction on the price just to, you know, make sure they didn't get foreclosed on. And it just worked out for all parties. And the mom was so happy. She's like, let's do it again. I'm like, how many more daughters do you have?
I think, Vinny, that's why he gave the whole story, because he already knows he's got so many other stories he can share.
Oh, okay, perfect. Well, I look forward to the other stories, David.
So call him now and call him later.
Yeah, there's plenty of those to be had.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions before this time next week, when watching, feel free to comment on this post. Feel free to reach out to any of us, and we can kind of get you involved. If you have a business again and you're looking to join, feel free to reach out to one of us, and we can talk to you more about this platform. Yeah, I mean, we've met our time. This is a 30-minute thing, and we met our time. So thank you, everyone, and then on to next week.
Say goodbye.
Thanks.